Severe weather just does not want to let up. We have a major tornado outbreak on the way here this weekend for both Saturday and Sunday. You are looking at a moderate risk upgrade here on tomorrow, Saturday, May 25th, across parts of Kansas, western Missouri down into Oklahoma here as a substantial tornado outbreak is on the way. And we continue that into Sunday as well, May 26th, with right now just an enhanced risk, but would not be surprised if this did get upgraded to a moderate risk as we do get closer. So make sure, if you are not subscribed to my channel here at Weather on the Go, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll have updates all the way through this event here, a new video forecast for you tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Make sure to press the like button down below. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below as well. I'll get to those later on today. Let's start today, though. We have a big complex of showers and storms that did move through the Hawkeye state of Iowa, through portions of northeastern Missouri, southern Wisconsin, and northern Illinois before fizzling out before reaching the Milwaukee, Chicagoland area this morning. That complex of storms actually started back here into western and central Nebraska late last night, with several tornadoes reported yesterday, up to 26 now, not only up here across the high plains in the Midwest, but also down here into parts of the Red River Valley and Texas Hill Country as well. But notice where the more prolific wind reports were yesterday. That carried over to this morning. We had 3 more tornadoes reported in and around the Quad Cities region, in eastern Iowa and western Illinois there. And so we're keeping an eye on that. And so we still have a chance for severe weather as we go through the rest of the day. We have a large slight risk from the Midwest all the way down here toward the southern plains. A couple small areas of enhanced risk severe weather in the orange, one up here into northeast Missouri, west central Illinois, another one into southeastern Oklahoma, into north central Texas here. This is mainly going to be for wind, so any storms that develop this afternoon on any outflow boundaries or anything like that could have 60, maybe 70 mile per hour winds at most. Also hail. The hail is going to be most significant from around Springfield, Missouri, south toward Little Rock, Fort Smith, Arkansas, back here into the Texarkana region and the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that could trickle its way south toward Waco, Texas as well. So if you live in those areas, we could see hailstones over 2 inches in diameter, and a couple tornadoes cannot be ruled out from southern Wisconsin back through portions of northern Illinois into eastern Iowa, northeast Missouri. That's the most concentrated area with a 5% chance for tornadoes, but that 2% tornado chance in the dark green actually extends down through Missouri, parts of the Arkansas, actually the entire state of Arkansas, western portions of Tennessee, northern Mississippi, and northern Louisiana, parts of eastern Oklahoma, north central Texas, just a wide area along the Mississippi Valley here with a tornado risk you can see. So going into the afternoon, scattered coverage of showers and storms. Not everybody will get these, but this is going to be on remnant outflow boundaries from these morning storms that were to the north. So we're going to see that move through. We'll see supercells developing, intense hail cores down here across portions of the Texarkana region into Little Rock, back toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, over 2-inch diameter hailstones will be possible. A few tornadoes will be possible as well. Then as we go into early Saturday morning, the storms will tend to lose their luster a little bit as they push toward the Ohio, Tennessee River Valley and then toward the northwestern part of Dixie Alley here. Now, as we go into the weekend, on Saturday, we are watching a very strong jet stream down here. This is the subtropical jet meeting up with the polar jet here as well across portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, and that will shift east across the Midwest, the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley toward the Great Lakes region as we go into Sunday. So we do have another substantial tornado outbreak, the likes of which could be the highest ceiling event we have seen this entire severe weather season. I know it's hard to wrap your head around because we've had a lot of big events here, but this is already a large day 2 moderate risk of severe weather. This is a 4 out of 5 on the risk scale here from the Storm Prediction Center in parts of Kansas, western portions of Missouri down into the Oklahoma area there. So around Wichita, Topeka, back toward Dodge City there, Joplin area, and then back there towards, say, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, the Lawton Fort Sill area, with a large enhanced slight and marginal risk surrounding that, and then a couple marginal risks across the east here. But the main corridor for that tornado outbreak, that 10, even 15% probability of violent tornadoes tomorrow, will be across parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and northwest Texas there. This does include some upscale growth. So after we see supercells develop, we'll start to see upscale growth into a big line of storms in a complex of storms that has a 45% chance of hurricane force winds, 70, 80, even 90 miles per hour here, and the potential even for some real big hail. The hailstones tomorrow, believe it or not, with a lot of instability, could be up to 5 inches in diameter from Kansas into Oklahoma and northwest Texas. So let's look at the parameters in place tomorrow and why we're seeing all this extreme weather. Well, the dew point temperatures tell a part of the story. The Gulf of Mexico is going to be open for business here. Dew points surging all the way up to the warm front. You can see the warm front draped across portions of Kansas City, back toward the Missouri Ozarks region, and then you have the dry line back here. So we have the triple point up here into portions of the Central Plains, and in the warm sector, dew points well in the 70s, and we're going to have a lot of fuel, right? When you fill up your car with fuel, you can go a long way on a road trip, right? That's the same thing with thunderstorms here. You load the atmosphere with fuel, these storms will last a very long time. This is over 4,000 joules per kilogram here across the central southern plains tomorrow. That is almost off the charts instability. And not only that, but we have to look at the wind profile. So here's the low-level jet stream here. This is in the 850 millibar layer, just a few thousand feet above the surface of the earth. And you can see Saturday afternoon, we already have a moderately strong low-level jet. Those significant tornado parameter values already greater than 1 from southern portions of Kansas, especially down toward the Red River Valley here. But then watch this low-level jet Saturday night. Yes, unfortunately, this is looking more and more like an evening and overnight setup here. So we need everybody to stay alert here across the plains, especially into Kansas, Oklahoma, and North Texas, even parts of Missouri, as this will crank to 75 knots, folks. And look at this. It couldn't get any higher, honestly. 40 to 50 out of 10 on the significant tornado parameter space here across much of east central Kansas, southwest and western portions of Missouri, northwest Arkansas, back into most of the state of Oklahoma and North Texas near the Red River there. We're keeping a close eye on that. So here is the picture tomorrow. So Saturday morning, we have warm air advection. The atmosphere is in the process of destabilizing. The sun will be out. We're going to have a lot of warming of the atmosphere as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. We have a cap on the atmosphere. Once that cap breaks, and I have high confidence, the Storm Prediction Center even has higher confidence of that occurring. That's why they upgraded to a moderate risk. And here we go. We got individual, discrete, possibly even semi-discrete supercells Saturday evening, and these could be the ones to produce those violent, long-track tornadoes. Yes, the atmosphere environment is possible to have EF3 plus tornadoes tomorrow. So we need to be on high alert here across Kansas, Oklahoma, and North Texas. And then the tendency will be for upscale growth into a big complex of storms into Iowa, into eastern Kansas and Missouri overnight into early Sunday morning, with more heavy rain with elevated thunderstorms north of the boundary there into Iowa. The warm front will be closer to Kansas City, so the southern part of this complex will be the most severe. So if you live in Kansas City, in toward the Springfield, Missouri area, for example, Joplin, you guys need to be on high alert for some very intense winds, possibly well over 80 miles per hour. And this is another way of looking at it too, your maximum helicity tracks. This basically just shows you where the more intense updrafts will be and where the strongest storms will be, and how long tracked they will be as well. And you can see with that complex further north, we're going to see some pretty intense winds with that from northern Kansas into northeast Kansas, into western Missouri, but also look at these long track supercells, several of them down here in southern Kansas, most of Oklahoma here, and into North Texas. That would be the area of most concern for those violent long track tornadoes. We're talking EF3 tornadoes or more intense than that. And then as we go into Sunday, we have another outbreak of potentially tornado outbreak here from parts of eastern Missouri and through much of the Illinois Valley, especially central and southern Illinois into central and southern Indiana, west central portions of Kentucky. This area could get upgraded to a moderate risk as we do get closer. Significant severe weather is likely there. And again, it's fed off the dew points. We have dew points in the 70s here again on Sunday. A lot of energy. You can see the entire eastern 2/3 of the country, over 3,000 joules per kilogram instability. So the fuel is not lacking. Significant tornado parameter space is 10 out of 10, so it couldn't get much higher than that. It is already on the top end of the scale, so another big day on Sunday And we can see ongoing convection from Saturday night into Sunday morning. Complex of storms moving across Illinois into Missouri. Those southernmost storms need to be watched most for tornado potential, but also those intense damaging winds over 80 miles per hour. As we go into the afternoon, there's a little bit of uncertainty with storm mode here on Sunday. We could have that complex continue east and intensify, or we could also have individual supercells developing as well, or kind of a mix of both. We'll have to wait and see, but we definitely have the potential for significant severe weather Sunday afternoon and into Sunday evening with lines of storms that will be moving across the eastern U.S. here, and those will have a tendency to drop south into the better instability early Monday morning to start Memorial Day. And as we go into Memorial Day, that low pressure system into eastern portions of Canada here, up into Ontario and Quebec, up to 992 millibars. That's a pretty strong low. We got another low down here into the Virginia coast region, and both of these are going to work in tandem to bring unsettled weather across southeastern and eastern Canada, but also the eastern part of the United States from Maine all the way to Florida here and everywhere in between for Memorial Day. Drier out west. So here's your total rainfall amounts as we go through Monday Memorial Day itself. The heaviest rains up here in the Midwest, through the Ohio Valley into parts of the Mid-Atlantic, but also a secondary swath with those intense storms from the Tennessee Valley down toward the northern part of Dixie Alley. Over 2 inches of rain there through Monday Memorial Day itself. Looking at temperatures now for Memorial Day. High temperatures, the heat will be on across the south. Look at the triple-digit heat down here into southwestern and southern Texas. The Rio Grande Valley temperatures will be approaching 110 degrees. That's without the heat index. When you throw in dew points in the middle and upper 70s, that could make it feel like 120, maybe even locally 125 degrees Fahrenheit in South Texas, the Brownsville region, down here toward Corpus Christi, up around 100, 105 with the heat index, and even 102, 105 degree range heat index there in Dallas-Fort Worth as well. So the heat will be on further to the south, whereas areas north toward the upper Midwest will be feeling more like early spring with some cooler temperatures up there. Now, a pattern change is in the offing, at least with the precipitation a little bit. So looking at temperatures cooler to the east, a little cool area in the Pacific Northwest. The ridge will be on here. Some more extreme heat across the south, especially for South Florida, South Texas, and heating up across the Rockies and the Great Plains as well. More active weather for the plains. While we thought we were going to quiet down a little bit from significant severe weather, the expectation now is for more significant storms, possibly in the Great Plains, parts of the Midwest, as we round out the month of May and turn into the couple days there of June. So the weather pattern is not slowing down anytime soon. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. We'll have the latest weather information right at your fingertips. I promise you that. New weather forecast video out tomorrow. Make sure to give the video a like if you like today's weather content. Also, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. I'll get to those after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Memorial Day weekend out there.